Trouble. We all know that we should never go looking for it, but when it's unavoidable, we need to face up to and deal with it. When you're a surgeon, trouble is never too far away. Most of the time, things go smoothly. The operation was a success, there weren't any complications, and everybody's happy. I sleep soundly and look forward to relaxing at the end of the week. But out of the blue comes the phone call. An old boss of mine used to say that when the phone rang at home, his first thought was, "What's happened now?" I know what he meant. If the phone rings when you aren't expecting it, it usually means trouble. It's quite common to have a few patients that you're worried about after surgery. Sometimes it feels like firefighting. You put one out and then another one starts. Some of the patients might have things like wound problems, persistent pain or swelling. If the surgery has been particularly difficult, I might worry about that patient having a dislocation. You sort of develop a sixth sense, and it's usually right. But if you aren't expecting trouble, when it turns up, it comes as a bit of a shock. You might well think that after being a hip surgeon for over 20 years, I'd have become somewhat inured to it, but I haven't. I know that many surgeons feel the same way. I'd probably avoid a surgeon who didn't, to be honest. Surgery is a way of life, and you have to accept that you never quite switch off. If you have a problem with your hips, where do you go to for help? It's been fascinating to read the questions and comments on my Facebook page, Hip Arthritis and Hip Replacement Advice and Support for Patients. There's a link to it below. What people want most of all is information about what to expect before and after surgery, and whether the symptoms that they have are normal or something to worry about. It seems to be the case that a lot of them find it very difficult to get this information from the team that looks after them in hospital. The group is very supportive of its members, and I try my best to help them. One of the best things about being in private practice is that I have the time to see my patients who have problems, often at very short notice. I like to know what's going on so that I can put out the fire before things get out of control. My wonderful team of anaesthetists, secretaries, nurses and physios are all there to help and support you, and me. Patients have my email address and can always get in touch if they're worried, and there are staff on duty at the Nuffield all the time who can advise you night and day. I can't believe it's August already. It's been a dramatic year, hasn't it? War in Ukraine, heat waves, rampant inflation and recession, and threats of running out of fuel in the winter. The NHS can't cope, and it's not even the winter yet. It feels like we're back in the 70s again. I know that many of you are suffering whilst waiting for such a long time to be seen and treated. Nobody seems to have the answer to this problem, but if you think that I can help you with your hip problem, then please get in touch. The details are below in the description. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to make the most of this lovely summer weather.